so you want to roll call back in open session? Alderman Santee?
Here.
Alderman Glad?
Here.
Alderman McClatchy?
Here.
Alderman Harding?
Here.
Alderman Strack?
Here.
Alderman Devine?
Here.
Alderwoman Miller?
Here.
Mayor Jeanette?
Here. All right, staff reports, is there any other staff reports besides what was sent out?
Just thanks to all of to the chamber, to all volunteers. You know, we made it through a return of yesterday, so I thought it was, the parade in particular was a great day yesterday. Big crowds all along the route. A Thursday night band concert and parade marshal ceremony at the park was also another really big crowd, so I thought it was a successful return. The first weekend was a little rough with some weather, but I thought the partnering of the fireworks with them on the Sunday, I thought overall that went really well. I heard a lot of positives. I obviously heard a lot of negatives about moving about that first weekend, but it seemed to be something that made sense, and we got a little bigger show out of it. So we'll be meeting shortly with them with the chamber afterward, and kind of have a wrap-up meeting on a number of aspects with the police department, and kind of talk through some things. So if there's other comments that you guys saw or heard, please feel free to reach out to me or shoot me an email, and we can bring those up in that meeting as well. But I thought it was a good 10 days for the city. In my opinion, even the Damiac Challenge, where they had record numbers for that, I think over 120 kayaks that went out, to the point where All Marine Retro, our partner down there, they were able to reach out and bring in a number of other kayaks to be able to help supplement what was down there. So just a real good turnout for the last 10 days.
Any other staff reports? I have nothing this evening for mayor reports. City council comments.
I'd just like to echo what Bill just said. I mean, the city employees, the staff, I mean, everybody should be so proud of what they did. I mean, really, it really turned out good. Good job.
Any others? Alderman Strack?
When will we be having a conversation about comprehensive plan?
So it's funny you bring that up. We have, with the onboarding of Cody last year, we've identified that obviously a lot of our planning material is just out of date, and that was brought up this evening on many occasions. So, you know, we've had discussions actually with the mayor and Darren, you know, in getting the ball rolling on a citywide comprehensive plan. You know, but there's a cost to that. So I mean, you're talking $150,000 to $200,000 to get a true plan put together. So funding-wise, you know, we may be coming before the end of the year with a budget amendment, or we may end up doing it in capital for next year. But it's something that needs to be done.
In my 9-year thorn in sitting in the P&Z chair was having an account plan that was out of date and telling people that we weren't able to do that. So it's been on my radar, and I waited a few meetings before I brought it up, but it's been one of those things that's really, I think we as a city absolutely need to do it, and it needs to get here. And just like we talked about tonight, the west side of town, some other areas that we're looking at a comp plan that hasn't been touched in a while, and it's changed. It's going to continue to change. So absolutely, thank you.
And realistically, by the time we go through the process to get somebody on board, once we do that and find out the price, it could be that we span a couple of fiscal years. It's not all going to be done in this. Even if we started, you know, late fall, it's probably not going to be done by the end of the fiscal year. So if we span a couple of years, money-wise on it, so budget amendment plus budget next year, some funding for it. So.
And then hopefully we can keep it as a line item that we're touching on a more regular.
So the technology is changing. It's not,
sure.
you know, it's not a paper document anymore.
Yeah.
It's a living document. It's hosted on a web page, and you know we can make those changes as staff and as a council, and we can go in there and continually update it. So
yeah, which would be great.
As long as we do that on our end, it should be a document that you can really use in the future.
So just to kind of add real quick, I mean, some of the really cool things they're doing with comprehensive plans, like GIS companies, what they'll do is they'll actually create like a 3D model of your downtown, and so that way you're able to like actually insert new development, new construction into the model and whatnot, and kind of see how that plays out.
Spending our money, how good.
Yeah.
Actually, no money to count. We're gonna make money do it.
Since day one, Cody has been wanting to get this done. I mean, I think we all know that.
Yeah, it's just we're seeing a lot more development now, and
sure.
than we have in the past 10, 15 years, and we're realizing that our plans are just out of date. Not that they're not good, they're just out of date.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
So speed changes.
Yeah, and I think along with that
Working
conversation,
there.
we've all had the personal conversation that our zoning districts don't fit anymore. And we need to create some new descriptions and maybe some new districts. So I know Cody, you and I have had that conversation, Ross, you and I have had that conversation, Sean, you and I have had that conversation, that not everything is C, not everything is I, not everything is R, that there are some places that need to have a new descriptor, and, you know, why not here first? So let's get creative and let's come up with something, because we are unique, and we have places like the west side of town that don't fit anything else, because we created something out of nothing. And so whether that's hiring somebody to help us do that, or let's just do it on our own, and when we all start with the math, we got pretty creative last 5 years. So Cody, you're very capable of doing this.
I would love to do it. Trust me, I would love to do it. If it was the sole thing I could do, I would love to do it. But the problem is the amount of development we're getting right now,
Yeah.
I just don't have the time. I just need assistance. I mean, Ross, the amount of phone calls we're fielding with the amount of development we're getting, it's just, P and Z zoning hearing items just consume all of my time right now. That's the biggest issue.
Gotcha.
Lastly, you know, as Sue just said, we've done some things outside the box during COVID, and kudos to this group for making town survive the way it did. We need to do that with this thing as well, and just think outside the box.
Agreed. Yeah, and I told Derek I was totally in favor of getting this done, and so,
Well,
I think we
you-
need to do a budget amendment this year and just get started. There's no reason to delay it. We know this needs to be done.
Well,
Like
we'll start
we
to
should
put
done.
together an RFQ and get it out and see what those numbers come back at. You know, and like Derek said, it's probably gonna be close to around budget time anyways. So we'll figure out a way.
Awesome. Any other city council comments? None? Motion and second to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Alderman McClatchy and then Alderman Santi for a second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman McClatchy.
Yes.
Alderman Santee.
Yes.
Alderwoman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Devine.
Yes.
Alderman Strack.
Yes.
Alderman Harding.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes. Like if I had a team of people for, create a comprehensive plan,